I find, and this is no exaggeration, probably about 80 to 90% of the time that something goes wrong for me, it's because someone else was incompetent or didn't do their job. Just being honest. The DSP Throwback channel is a relaunch of my old channel, KO Gaming. That channel used to be for edited style content, and I used it for a year over 2016. But then YouTube demonetized it, which was baloney. I don't know why they did it. They never justified why they did. And so I didn't use the channel. It was like a backup channel that I used for like 2018 when I had issues with this channel for a few months. And then it was literally sitting there defunct for 5.5 years as a channel. If I ever needed it, it was there, but I never used it. Right now on KO Gaming, I have over 5,000 subscribers. If half of those subscribers gave $1 a month, right? Which is nothing. What, a pack of gum? That would be a tremendous help to me. $1 helps. I'm not kidding you. It really does. I decided that this year, one of my new initiatives was to relaunch this channel as DSP Throwback. And essentially what this channel is, okay, is a channel where I'm going to take my legacy content from way back in the day, my oldest playthroughs that were popular. And number one, if those playthroughs have been lost to time, I want to re-upload them, but present them in a manner that now is digestible for the modern audience. Meaning longer parts, upscaled video, cleaned up audio, proper playlists, proper thumbnails, and proper descriptions. So everyone knows what it is and can watch it on demand as if it were a standard playthrough of mine. Now, obviously, one thing that's not going to change is the commentary. And the commentary over there is very different because this is from like 14 years ago. Back then, YouTube was a different place. I was a different kind of person and creator. I was essentially making content for teenagers. So it was very irreverent, very immature, using language that I definitely would not be using today. All right? In fact, just
don't shoot. Shoot him. He's black. Shoot him. Racism.
For the record, last night I went back and I watched some of the parts of Final Fantasy 13 that are live on this channel. By the way, you can find it at youtube.com/@DSP Throwback. Okay, that's how you can find the channel. So I'm watching it, and within the first few parts, I say all these words I would never say today. All right? And just for the record, the reason that that kind of commentary was used back then is very simple. I came from the Street Fighter community.
Excuses.
And in the FGC or Street Fighter community back then, language was ridiculous. You know, it really felt like a fraternity, like a good old boys club, like a rite of passage was to basically be verbally abused. Like it was just part of that, okay? Words were thrown around, and the thing was, no one took offense when these words were used. Today, you use those words just in public. People are like, what's wrong with you? Like, do you have problems? Like, why are you saying these awful things? But back then, it was just common language that was used, okay? Sure. What the fuck? One word, I will just say this right up front. Something that I feel awful about, okay? Back then, the word was literally used not to mean what it actually means, but it basically meant like being destroyed in a fighting game. That's jail time right there. Okay? So you would say, oh, so-and-so got in a fighting game if they got like double perfected. Still can't do anything. Literally still can't do anything. And you would use that all the time. That was a common word to be used in the fighting game community. All right? So now I go back and I watch my old videos and I'm like, why did I just casually drop that word in the middle of the video? It's like out of place. You watch it in 2023, 2024 actually. You're like, that's so out of place. Why? It doesn't even make sense in the context of what's going on in the video. You're like, why would someone use that word? It just seems like very insensitive, right? But that's because we're looking at it through a modern lens. Nope. 14 years ago, that was common language. Nope. Used in various communities, and that's the community I was coming from. All right? So there's definitely words that are deemed offensive, right? That are in the commentary. And there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to go back after the fact and completely change all the commentary on that stuff, all right? It is what it is. That's why there's a disclaimer at the beginning of the playthrough that says the language and everything is not representative of the current day thoughts and attitudes of this gamer. And even in the description of every video I upload on that channel, it now says, FYI, this content is over a decade old. It's representative of a bygone era on YouTube, so don't take offense. This is not something that would be done today, okay? What a bunch of and what a game. Kiss my ass, you ass game developers. Jesus fucking Christ, man. And I'll be honest, number one, the commentary's funny as shit. It really is. Like, I haven't heard this commentary in 14 years. The last time I heard it was when I recorded it, okay? Outside of the cringe-worthy words that I use that I would never use today, I think it's pretty darn funny. The observational comedy and stuff that I'm doing is pretty, it's timely. That's 14-year-ago humor, and it still works because you can put yourself into that time frame and laugh about it. You know, I'm making references. There's a reference coming up to Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. Who the fuck would understand that reference today? But, you know, it was funny for the time. You know, the Olsen twins. Who the fuck even knows who the Olsen twins are now? But back then, people still remembered Full House, right? So that's what I mean. Like, the commentary is still pretty darn funny, I feel. Yes, anonymous $5 tipper. I agree. I have changed a lot. You know, back in the day when I started, even, you know, when I first started, when I had first moved to Washington versus now, like I said, the last 2 years have been a kind of an eye-opening journey for me, where I understood that making interactive content, more positive content, more fun content is better than doing negative stuff. And I stopped doing a lot of the old kind of patterns that I used to do. And I really do feel that I'm a better content creator overall now than I ever was. It's just a shame because it took a lot of people a lot of time to give me another shot to check my stuff out again, because they just wrote me off as a bad internet meme rather than actually giving me a shot to check the stuff out and understand that I had changed for the better, you know? You have your choice, your pick, right? A lot of people have always said over the years, I like old school Phil better. Then go watch old school Phil. What's to stop you? Oh, well, the videos look like shit. They're only 10 minutes long. Half of them are muted for music and copyright issue. It looks like shit. I can't. The commentary's terrible because the audio sounds like shit. Well, we'll fix all that. There you go, right? I said, who would win in a fight, Positive Phil or Meanie King of Hate Phil? I don't know, because they're the same person. But what I would say is the person who, me of the past, was a very toxic. Toxic is the best way to describe Phil of the past. Please continue to give me your positive and constructive feedback. That's what I need. I don't need troll. Oh, I just hate DSP. Gee, thanks for the comment, moron. Then why are you here? Man, you know, I really hate Nicki Minaj. So what I do is I buy all of her albums and I listen to all of her music and I go to her concerts and I say how bad it is and I vlog about how I hate her. Or you just don't listen to Nicki Minaj. You do other things with your life, right? But sadly, some people can't stop themselves from hate watching content, right? Why am I poisoned? Why am I toxic?